Hello everybody, welcome to the Football Daily Weekly. Good to see you. Laurence is joining us once again, and JJ from Fitbathaba. It's a pleasure to have a Scotsman on the show.
Yeah,
an actual one. An actual Scotsman. We've got a Q&A for you everybody, as is tradition before the season begins. You've asked us some questions and the chaps are going to answer them. Let us begin with Danush Menon's question. He is asking, do you think Barcelona can retain the UEFA Champions League? No one has ever retained the Champions League.
That's true.
JJ,
Yeah.
Exciting to think that a team might do it, or is it a bit disappointing?
I think it'd be amazing because Barcelona play football the right way.
Is that right?
Yeah. Also, Lionel Messi deserves to win everything all the time, I think. So as long as he could...
I see you're going to play it that way in this show.
Have you got a series of boxes that you're just ticking?
Yeah, you're just ticking off.
I've got some cliches to go through in a minute
Yeah,
as well,
okay.
so that's good.
House!
Well, obviously they can retain the Champions League.
Yes.
It's weird now that they can't sign players to start off with the season. They're just sort of hoarding them.
Yeah, so no one else can.
Some sort of mad Orson Welles character, keeping them in the basement until January or something like that.
Yeah.
What's Turan going to be doing?
Staying in the basement.
Sitting in the basement.
Has he not deserved 6 months off?
Yeah, that's a good point actually. If you've played in an
He's played
Atletico
that-
team.
Yeah. If you played with Diego Simeone under Diego
He's got
Simeone.
6 months off.
Yeah.
No pay. Amazing.
Yeah,
full pay.
absolutely.
He's done that well. Well done, son.
He should have timed having a child at this time. It would have been,
Maybe he has.
really good.
There's a lot in that equation. But Barcelona, with that front three,
Yeah.
Yes.
surely they could be the first side. I mean, obviously under Pep Guardiola, they thought that might be the case. Jose Mourinho had other ideas. Who would be able to stop them?
Jose Mourinho had other ideas.
Well, there you are. A man who has always got other ideas.
Yeah.
I think several of the other clubs within the UEFA Champions League could stop them on the way to there. The problem with Barcelona's front three is absolutely amazing. Now Xavi's gone as well, I think his, having not been in the Barcelona dressing room, I assume his influence in there is probably quite massive. And although he only came on for the last 20 minutes towards the end of the season, it was weird how Barcelona last year, they started off kind of ropily and Enrique was under a lot of pressure, wasn't he, with that. But they seemed to become, after that loss to Sociedad, I think, he just seemed to just nail everything.
Yeah.
And they were the best counter-attacking team I've probably seen.
Leave it there.
I feel a bit weird talking about them being the best team because you assume it's the Guardiola teams that were there, but they were absolutely incredible last year. And Messi's on a different planet again. He makes difference, obviously. I mean, that's the cliche number one.
But the
That's
Suarez, I mean, the Suarez and
Neymar.
Neymar, the unpredictability.
What about
of that front
Rakitic
line.
as well?
Rakitic was fantastic.
He's some
as well.
player. He's a good player. Yeah,
he is a player.
He's a player. Yeah. And they're just great, aren't they?
Lawrence,
I love watching them.
would you see Barcelona retaining the Champions League? Would you want them to? Because I quite like it that no one's ever done that. Because in an age where we can often predict who's going to win leagues and the last four of the Champions League doesn't change as much as it used to do in the late 80s, early 90s certainly.
The illusion of diversity.
That's right, but no one's ever retained it.
Yeah. The Labour government must be
Easy.
The Conservative government must be. The illusion of diversity in the Champions League is still there. I mean, there are sides every now and again that break out, but there's still the hegemony of Real, Barca, those guys. And I think that I'm excited to see what PSG do with Di Maria in that attacking front line.
If he goes there.
If he goes there, looks likely. Although they said that there's another big side in for him. Who's the other big side?
No idea. But would they be able to stop Barcelona?
Who's the Blanc? Blanc is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Blankety Blanc. I would say.
Blanc.
Yeah, I would say that I'm looking forward to seeing how Real play them this season because Benitez.
You mean Real Madrid?
Yeah, sorry, Real.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've done that wrong. I'm looking forward to seeing how Madrid play them this season.
Better.
And see how that basically Benitez lines up to stifle this Barcelona side.
Yeah.
Maybe do some counter-attacking of his own.
I can't wait till Ronaldo's a defender this year.
Yeah.
He says it's going to be great.
Yeah, but for which team? And then I look forward to seeing how Bale does. I also look forward to seeing how Chelsea come up against Barcelona because Chelsea now, I mean, really the aim is to win the Champions League, isn't it? And then I'm wondering, Van Gaal against this Barcelona side. I mean, he beat them 3-1 in pre-season. It wasn't a full-strength Barcelona side, but that was a full-strength back line.
JJ, do you think they will? Quick prediction.
As I've said all along, Marcus, absolutely they're going to win that straight up.
Yeah.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably by January.
Yeah. If they win the Champions League in January, I'm going to be amazed.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
I'll be astonished.
Yeah.
It'll be the
But
greatest
I've said
achievement
it.
in club football history. Lawrence?
The comments below would be, it really is a fix.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they will.
No,
I think
don't
someone
think
else will take it from them. But I imagine they'll make it very far in the tournament.
Yeah. Good. Well, there we are. Hope that's answered your question. Mandar is asking the question, what kind of season do you think Mesut Özil will have?
And the Arsenal team, there's something good about them this year. Sort of, 'cause they've got all those best friends
Yeah.
for all time.
Yeah.
And they've all grown up now. They're all mature.
Yeah.
And they're out in the big wide world. And now Theo Walcott's. The Walcott?
Well, playing like a Thundercat.
Yeah.
Yes. Theo Thunder
Walcott.
Walcott.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Ozil is going to be absolutely amazing this year. I think just specifically because Walcott is going to be really good.
Yeah.
Because he makes those runs. He doesn't seem to have what many say a football brain in that when he just runs in a straight line very quickly. But that's really useful in the Premier League.
It
where
can
it's-
be, yeah.
Yeah.
And that, are you saying that ball between centre back and full back that Özil likes to thread?
That threaded ball, yeah. I love watching Ozil. He was good last year, and I thought he wasn't even as bad as everyone made out in the first.
No, I think I
season.
agree. Yeah, I mean, he also was unlucky that he didn't play always in the position that would maybe be preferable for him.
Definitely. You see, like Ramsey out on the right, he's still good there, but he's not as useful as he could be in the centre of the park.
Yeah.
There's something that Ozil can do that no other players can do, and the thing is with him as well, which is weird, is some people would say the great players are the ones that take a team with them, and like Ronaldo just sort of scores
And
all
they're
the time.
right.
Well, but then
Yeah,
the thing with Ozil,
Just
he
to an
links all
extent.
together. Yeah.
But then there's other ways with.
But well, Xavi certainly wasn't the type of guy to explode onto
But then Xavi, everything flowed through him. He was the heartbeat in the middle of it.
And do you think Özil could be that type of player for Arsenal?
No, it doesn't need to be. He
Right.
links it all together. When he plays in a team full of great players, he's that one that's got the extra bit in his brain that no one else sees and just links all together. It's amazing to watch. I think it's quite a weird thing to say, but you have to look for it. And a lot of stuff he does is off the ball, and you notice him when he's not there. There's always those players that can create something out of nothing. Cliche number 2.
Yeah.
That
No, I
needs
thought it was
to-
number 3 in this
Yeah.
answer.
Oh, 3. Okay, good. He's going to be phenomenal this year again.
And Lawrence, you'd have him playing in behind the striker, or certainly in a central role, because when he's put out wide, it's not really where he plays. And a type of player like Özil, he's not that. Well, he is fairly adaptable. He played out wide for Germany in the World Cup, and obviously
Yeah,
ended
exactly.
up winning. But in the Premier League,
Yeah.
perhaps he is best in the centre. Would you say?
I'd say that's everyone's preferable position because you notice him more there. He does look a little bit isolated sometimes out on the wing, and also I'd say it brings him into the moves more, so it gives him more control over those things. The problem, like you were saying, I guess the criticism of him was that when those other players weren't around, or some of them were injured, or they didn't always have things going, it looked as if he drifted out of games.
Yeah,
And
and like Sanchez is like a dog chasing a crisp packet, so
Yeah.
he just goes everywhere. And they love that in England for some
But
reason.
do you think that's also part of the problem? Is that we in England, there's the analysis is he's very hardworking. We see it happening all the time. That's why we like Dirk Kuyt and Alexis Sanchez.
Genuinely, I think that's what it is.
But maybe people don't appreciate the cerebral side of Ozil's game.
Question from Dapo.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the laughs.
Easy. Do you think Benteke will perform at Liverpool? Lawrence, do you think Benteke, all 32.5 million of him,
Half is the bit. Yeah.
there's slightly overpriced these,
Yeah.
by $500,000?
Yeah.
Will he play well at Liverpool? I mean, it's a tricky one. Sturridge will be
don't really
there.
know.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sturridge will be there. Will Balotelli feature at all? Lambert? Other names?
Lambert's played in pre-season, but I think Lambert has played as somewhat of a stopgap for when they get
Sure.
back to Melwood.
The question
Because
really
they're only
is...
just joining up now.
Yes, but Benteke and Sturridge.
Yeah.
Sturridge will surely start when fit.
I mean, surely Benteke will start with it. Maybe
Well,
there's
this is it. How would you see him playing?
there's a front two up there essentially. I think also though what we're looking at is
I
that
suppose Suarez and Sturridge played.
Suarez and Sturridge played. Benteke and Suarez are very different kind of players.
But he made it work, though.
He did make it work. And you know what? Benteke also looks like quite an adaptable player. I read a really interesting article the other day by a Villa fan who was sort of saying goodbye to Benteke, and he said it was basically the idea that Benteke at Villa was played by a number of managers in tactical systems which maybe didn't suit him, but he still played them and managed to score goals there. Doesn't mean I think he's going to score a hatful of goals at Liverpool. I think he'll score a top hatful of goals at Liverpool.
Right.
I think he's going to score. I think Liverpool may need to give him more service from the flanks. I also wonder whether we're going to see the best of Benteke in that in his time at Villa he was played very much as a target man. I imagine that Rodgers may want to play him like that at times, but I also think he'll want to take part in the moves. There are a lot of different ways you can tactically employ Benteke in the Liverpool side. One of them may be to drag defenders one way, to create space for Coutinho, Firmino, Lallana, anyone else to run into on the edge of the box. That's where Liverpool like a lot of their goals to come from, is just the edge of the box. Milner scored there in pre-season, Ibe scored there in pre-season, a number of people have. So tactically, it makes sense that they would have someone that will drag defenders away and essentially occupy them while other people come into that space.
JJ, when you look at Benteke going to Liverpool, do you think, yeah, brilliant signing, he's going to go in there, score a lot of goals? Or do you think, oh, that's a tricky one, he may struggle to adapt in his first season, as a lot of players understandably do when joining a bigger club?
I honestly don't know what Brendan Rodgers' transfer policy is at the moment. I think he's had a meltdown, just buy anyone he can.
Right.
The players he's bought over those like 2-3 seasons he's had transfer windows are completely different. There's no consistency in what he's trying to achieve with it. So he's got Sturridge there, who's always injured, obviously, so it's good to have a good striker like Benteke there. But like you're talking about with the tactical...
So, can I just say, it's a little bit unfair to say that Sturridge, I know he's always injured, but that's not really Brendan Rodgers' fault, is it?
No,
it's not.
I think that was justifying the signing of Benteke.
Yeah, it's more in the players he's got around him, and you've got like... They've basically got a front 8, and then they're going to have 2 players sitting behind them. One of them's James Milner, who's also a striker when he wants to be,
yes.
And Skrtel and whoever else is there. But Benteke needs to be in that. He needs to be the target man, like you're talking there. So, Sherwood said when he looked at the when he went to Spurs, like Adebayor hadn't scored, and he got him scoring from putting crosses in. So you noticed that when he went to Villa and Benteke wasn't scoring, he was scoring like 4 or 5 because he still would.
Well, none of the team was scoring.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He said that to get chances, he needs to put people out wide to put the ball in the box. And Rodgers, I don't know what formation he wants to play now. He's signed loads of central players. The width looks like it's going to come from Klein and your man on the left. I can't remember his name.
Or Moreno, or Ibe.
Yeah, well, Ibe's a winger though. Surely he's not a fullback, I would have said.
No, but I'm saying that gives him a little bit more width, maybe.
But then,
do you think Benteke might struggle to score goals in the way they set up Liverpool? They prefer to...
He'll still score, but he'll be like 10 goals a year. He'll be one of those kind of signings.
Really?
Yeah, you've got all those players like Lallana and Ings behind, and they're full of goals. And Firmino's kind of like a hybrid between a striker and a midfielder as well. Where's he going to go? Like, where's his space going to be if Benteke's... I don't get it. I don't get it.
So, I mean, tactically they set up that essentially Benteke is the very point of the formation, and then that creates space in behind, because I think what Rodgers is assuming is that every team will play Liverpool in the same way that Liverpool played Aston Villa, and that will therefore mean that their backline is done, and Benteke occupies people, which creates space for the likes of Firmino to run in.
I think he's got him as a goal scorer. I'm not sure it's there to create space for that. I think he'll do like that 3-4-1-2 thing and play Coutinho just behind the front 2 of Sturridge and Benteke. That's what I do.
They did well with the diamond, actually.
Yeah, and that's because he likes all those kind of Spanish La Liga kind of formations, like 3-4-3.
Yeah.
But then they've got ripped apart loads of times last season.
Yeah,
well, that was last season.
Oh well.
Hey, this season's a coming, Laurence.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think in general it's going to be interesting to see. The problem is there's a lot of change in that formation. We don't know how those players are going to play. Chan,
so many new players coming into the team again.
You and Damien Kamoli agree, and I'd say that's the first time that anyone can ever say that about anything with Damien Kamoli.
Well, I think we should leave it on that note.
Well, I mean, can people lay out what formation they think Liverpool should play and would play next season?
JJ, you maybe 10 goals. Laurence, you a bit more hope for Benteke.
I'd say a little bit more.
A little bit more hope.
Who's going to be the top scorer next season, though?
Well, who knows? Peter Juryhouse is asking, who do you think the Premier League top scorer will be this coming season?
Smoke a patch. Yeah. I think Diego Costa probably. Yeah.
Who do you think?
Costa probably.
Diego Costa.
Yeah. Just Chelsea are going to be up there again because Mourinho's a genius, and yeah, I also genuinely think Walcott's going to be quite high up.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. He's such an underrated player.
Everything indicates that he's going to be up there, doesn't it?
Well,
everything I've said, yeah.
He's back from injury. Yeah. So that's a start.
He's back. I love Theo Walcott. I agree.
End of list.
Yeah.
Do you think the reason why Wenger's not signed a striker and perhaps may not would be because Walcott's come back?
Maybe. I don't think there's that many players that are really available. Wenger says that. I mean, who's he going to sign? Who's his best strikers in the world?
By the way, when I say he's back from injury, I'm aware he played in the FA Cup final.
Yeah. No, well, he's back for a full season. He's back to start a season.
Yes.
His leg's back on now.
Yeah. Was it off in the FA Cup final?
Terrible.
What do you reckon, Laurence?
I'm hoping he'll do well this season.
Very good.
I would say I'd like to see Sanchez take more goals. Yeah, Alexis Sanchez. Is there another?
Yeah. Still a striker gets most of the goals, though, isn't he? He's not really a striker.
Yeah, but I still think I would love to see a player like Sanchez take it. I mean, Hazard, I think, will maybe score more goals this season.
But will he be top scorer?
Imagine if it was Falcao.
No.
Well, no, you can imagine it.
Well, I can, but I just don't think it will be. I think Falcao's still a great player, but I don't think he will be top scorer.
Okay,
Respect the question, man.
Okay, I'm writing a name.
Rooney.
Played at the top of that United formation.
Yes.
That's not a bad shout, is it?
I mean, it's a much better answer.
Than the one I just gave. Yes.
Slowly but surely, we're edging towards some
An
kind
actual
of,
answer.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm just putting candidates out there because it's stupid me just going.
Well, not really. If you think, who do you think is going to be the top scorer? You look at the teams and their signings, how you think a team's going to perform, perhaps based on last season, and perhaps a little bit based on pre-season, all that kind of stuff. If indeed that really matters, then who do you fancy? I mean, you're going Diego Costa, JJ.
Danny Ings, one of the two.
Yeah.
Danny Ings or Diego Costa? Laurence?
Don't mock me. It's
Daniel Sturridge.
I was just channeling Brendan Rodgers there.
Yeah. What about Sturridge?
Please don't touch my face.
He's in. Yeah. You've done a really good job. We'll do. I'm going to say Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney?
It's a good option.
Yeah.
Good choice.
It's an option.
I'm going to go for Lee Sharp. Thank you very much for your questions, everybody.
Host of Funhouse. Pat Sharp.
Do get your comments in below. Let us know what you thought of all of that. Thank you very much to Laurence. Thank you very much to JJ. JJ, we can see you on Fitbathaba YouTube channel,
Yes,
which is
on
well
YouTube,
worth a turn of the head. And I know you guys love the old YouTubes. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.